Hello everyone, welcome to My Future Africa. If this is your first time on our channel, we encourage you to subscribe to us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Rumble. Today we'll be covering a series titled UFO and Extraterrestrials. And it's going to be an interesting series given all that's happening lately. So UFOs are basically unidentified flying objects. That's why it's called UFO. So it's either unidentified or unknown flying objects. And this could be top secret spacecraft, this could be hot air balloons, as we can see recently, this could be comets, this could be meteorites, and this could be space debris. So there's a whole lot of things that could classify as UFOs. It could even be flying dinosaurs, ancient dinosaurs that we haven't seen in the past few years. So they could be a whole lot of things, but the main idea is it's a flying object flying at a high altitude and it's unidentified. But in our series, that's not what we are covering. We are covering extraterrestrial spacecraft, intelligent beings, things that people have spotted and have spoken about. In the past few years, a lot of people have reported stories. There have been so many documentaries about alien intelligent beings. People have described what they have seen, what the spacecraft look like, how the spacecraft operate, even the height of these beings, the way they look. So many people have described so many things. Some have described them as little human looking beings with big head and big eyes. People have described the spacecraft in which they have flown in as, very high speed spacecraft. Some people have even described their experiences in this craft, having been sucked into the craft basically. So there have been a whole lot of description of the spacecraft, but there are people who have described them as very high speed, traveling spacecraft that can sometimes move between air and water and even out of water. So there have been many descriptions. Recently, we have seen the United States government starting to speak on it, and they have released videos of American jet fighters tracking this spacecraft. And these are classified documents that have been kept for so many years, but recently we have seen them being released to the public, and a lot of people are now beginning to believe this. There have been people that have described what have come out from this craft, and they basically look like they look like human hybrids, and as you can see in the video, you can see what people have been able to describe, but this is just one of many descriptions that exist. But recently, a lot of people have come out to speak on this topic. Let's say in the past 50 years till counting from today backwards, you have people like Bob Lazar, who is an American physicist. You have people like Luis Elizondo, who is a former member of the Pentagon UFO program, which is a top secret US United States organization. You have Stephen M. Geiger, who is an American ufologist who have said on many occasions that he has been able to communicate with these beings telepathically. So we have a lot of people who have been reporting things and who have been saying things, and recently people are beginning to believe them. We even have the more interesting case from Zimbabwe, where a group of about 62 kids reported having encountered these aliens, at their school, and it couldn't have been possible for these kids to have all seen the same thing. So people have taken this evidence as a real evidence. It happened as far back as 1994, and we have provided links to the story. The kids now are adults and they still describe what they saw, and some of them recount being told by the aliens that human beings could take care of the planet better in order to prevent the destruction of our planet. And the accounts that they give are really interesting. So we at My Future Africa, we have approached this issue from a different perspective, because this issue of UFOs is an issue that could definitely affect Africa. If it turns out, if it turns out that some of these stories are real, it's going to affect humanity. And of course, Africa is part of humanity, So we have looked at our evidences as a case of the people who are presenting this evidence. Do they have something to lose? Do they have a credibility to lose? So we have picked up two videos that that's not very viral online, but they are very convincing evidence. One is from an American engineer who works with Lockheed Martins. He's a very elderly man, so we believe that this is someone who has his credibility to lose. And being an elderly man at his age, he definitely wouldn't be someone who would lie. And we are going to upload a video of his confession of working on UFOs or alien spacecraft, and his encounters with those beings. We also have a more compelling evidence from a Canadian government official, actually a former Canadian minister. I believe it's Minister of Defense, who presents his speech before the Canadian Parliament. And that's a bit more compelling evidence. And in his speech, he basically says that the United States government knows about the aliens and has been working with them for so many years. We will provide these videos and allow you, our audience, to make a judgment based on what you see.